Our Drive for Miracles Radiothon is this week for raising money for OSF St. Francis Children's Hospital of Illinois, OSF HealthCar. And we talked to all kinds of folks. It's been 22 years we've been doing this. We talked to all kinds of folks that have been through the hospital, that work at the hospital, that are a part of the hospital. And we're going to talk to one of my favorite people that we've had over the last 22 years, Brady Weaver. And we're going to do that next because John and Nancy are still talking. All right, Brady Weaver, how you doing?
I'm all right.
That's
Not too bad.
I've been asking you that for about 20 years.
I was going to say, so how old were you, Brady, when you first started talking to John Riley?
I believe I was one, maybe.
Yeah.
So you weren't even, okay.
Well, so here's the Brady Weaver story. So, 20 years ago or something, 21 years ago, we were talking about doing this, and Mary Osborne and the folks at Children's Hospital, they gave me this pile of letters that were written from parents who had experience with Children's Hospital, and Brady's dad wrote in one of these letters, and it was like the most dramatic, because I had young kids. My kids were little. I think my oldest at that time was about 4 or something. And how old are you now, Brady?
23.
So you're 23. So my oldest was about 3 or so. So I'm reading this letter, and, Brady had, 2 heart surgeries by that time, or just one?
By that time, I believe it's a couple.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of heart surgeries, and I just could not wrap my head around a child that had 2 heart surgeries and was only about a year old.
It was a baby.
It was crazy. Yeah. But Brady's dad's letter was so great, and it was just like, well, I need to know more about this place.
Yeah.
And that kind of started my journey down over to Children's Hospital, and I've never forgotten it. And now here's Brady Weaver, 23 years old, and I don't know, how many surgeries, Brady?
I believe the transplant had made it 10.
10 surgeries in his lifetime, and all of them are, serious stuff, hearts and all that kind of stuff. And the latest thing was you just got a double transplant, is that correct?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yes. Heart and a liver transplant.
Over the summer, right?
Heart and a liver.
Yeah, it was in February of this year.
Oh, February, okay.
And how long were you on that wait list for those transplants?
So I did my evaluation in the summer of 20. And then I waited from January of 21 to basically February 3rd of 22. And I spent a year out of the hospital, and then they asked me if I was done, basically done waiting.
You were like, yes, please.
Yeah, I was like, yes. And he goes, we have a bed ready. If you want to be admitted, you'll be put higher up on the list. And so I said yes, because I knew I wanted to be done.
Yeah, you just go for it, right? Good for you. And then they gave Brady a parade through Bartonville. I was there for that. Man, he had fire trucks and police cars and
well, so how was the recovery then after the double transplant, and then how are you doing today? Like, give us an update on how that all went.
So the recovery, I guess, right after transplant was tough. I mean, it was more mentally than it was physically. I just trying to get over sitting in a hospital bed for, just hours and days. And
I know your mom was texting me pictures of you in the hospital, and I was really feeling for you.
Yeah, how long were you in the hospital?
Total of waiting and recovering was 2 months exact.
Wow.
I mean, it's amazing, really, if you think about it. You get a new heart and a new liver, and you're 2 months.
So how has it changed how you're feeling physically, though, from before and after now?
Honestly, I feel great. I mean, waking up every day, I usually, before transplant, I'd wake up and I just would feel terrible. And I would dry heave and, just things would not go so well. And then when I wake up, now I can just get up out of bed and I feel good and I feel like I could, be more active and
more energy in that.
right, and
that is so great.
tired throughout the day.
We're talking with Brady Weaver, who's really been a lifelong, almost lifelong patient with Children's Hospital of Illinois. And then the transplant was done in St. Louis. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Children's Hospital of Illinois, Brady every year would stop by Radiothon at the Children's Hospital for us and give us an update on his stuff and be a radio star for a minute. And then, once you were on the Radiothon for so many years, Brady, then it was nothing but paparazzi and teenage girls, right? It was crazy. Your life got crazy because he was famous, And but he was always really helpful, still is, of just providing some perspective on why we raise money for Children's Hospital and why we do this for the kids, because miracles really do happen there. Your mom ended up working at the hospital.
Yes. I believe she's been there 20 years. This year was her 20th year.
All right.
She was there so often they gave her a job.
Yeah.
Impressive. Pretty much everybody that you started with at Children's Hospital, all the doctors and nurses that worked on you and everything, even administration, that's all changed over really since you've been there, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's been just a lot of differences.
Yeah.
In the past, I mean, just in a short few years, I'd say.
Yeah. That's how long we've been doing this. Yeah. It's really pretty crazy.
So I want to know, what is the day in the life of Brady Weaver today? Like, are you working? Are you going to school? Or what are you doing right now, Brady?
So I graduated last year, which is a blessing. I mean, to be able to graduate in the midst of everything.
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate from?
And then Eureka College.
Wonderful. Okay.
And then today, I'm working part-time actually at OSF.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
That's awesome.
Good for you.
Kind of full circle sort of thing.
Yeah, no kidding. I love that. That's cool. Well, listen, I tell you what. I know that that this is sometimes difficult for you to articulate, but how do you feel about that place, about Children's Hospital of Illinois? What is it? I mean, besides everything, what has it meant to your life?
I mean, basically, it's just been family. Even before I was born, my mom and my dad went there, and they told them the plan, and basically I've been comforting them and my family ever since I got surgeries. They've been so helpful, and everyone has kind of just given us support even now. Saying prayers and uplifting thoughts on Facebook. Just seeing those messages and seeing those comments from my mom's friends and her mission partners, it's just very nice to see that a community, especially in the hospital, can come together.
Yeah.
And be so nice and help my family and other families. And it really is basically a big community there.
It is. I mean, it's just that's how you're giving me goosebumps. You're not alone in that respect. People who have had so much, spent so much time at Children's Hospital, it does feel like family, and the support is always there. Well, listen, my man, if you're over at the hospital or anything while we're doing a radiothon, please stop in and see us. But don't feel obligated. But it's always great to talk with you and catch up. And I'm telling you, you were a sick little kid 20 years ago, and now you're not so sick anymore, and that makes me super happy.
Yes, I will definitely be there.
All right, thanks, man.
4 to 5.
Beautiful. All right, come on over. We'll catch up.
Yep. Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, Brady.
Yes,
Brady
thank you.
Weaver, one of my favorite people that we talk to every year at our Radiothon. Tomorrow, Friday, is when it will be, December 9th. It starts at 6 a.m. 933thedrive.com has all the details. And if you keep listening,
we'll keep talking.